All right, family. There we go. Black Power, you're now witnessing a General Seti's mega mini short, but pack a whole lot of punch. Today, we're going to be dealing with how the immortal African race is the Christ of the Bible. And I know it's hard for you to believe, but we're going to wake you up today. Before we get started, I want to let you know you can become a member of General Seti's or Sarasun Seti's YouTube page. All you had to do is go to the link right down in my video description. Click that link. You'll get a video rundown on the memberships, and showing you all the perks that are attached to each membership. If you like, you should join because there's no better place to be. Ring the alarm, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, official General Sarasun Seti, DVD lectures, t-shirts, and hoodies, African and Kemetic jewelry. We got it all for your family. We got 25% off at this time. Come check us out at KingSeti.com. Pull the fire alarm, GeneralSeti.com, SETI University, over 1,000 videos on African history, heritage, spirituality, nation building, developing the Black nation one lesson at a time. The complete General Sarasun Seti website, yes, it's a powerful website, no doubt about it. Patreon, SETI popping on Patreon, BPC making noise. We never come, exclusive live stream, too hot to handle on YouTube, but just so exquisite, we keep it for our family on Patreon. We got some powerful stuff over there. Make sure you subscribe to all my YouTube channels, King Seti, General Seti, Sarasun Seti. Rock the notification bell and get a video a thumbs up. Now, back to how the immortal African race is the Christ of the Bible. We got to deal with this today because a lot of people saying, well, Seti, you going too far. No, I ain't going far enough. That's the problem. I ain't going far enough. Let me get it in here. I ain't going far enough. Let me get it in here. Okay. And then we're gonna get jumping. Get it jumping. Now, when we talk about it says how the immortal African race is the Christ of the Bible. See, and so a lot of people don't understand when you're dealing in parables. You see, and this is a parable. A lot of people believe that Christ is some man, and it can be an individual, but the Christ is a consciousness. You see, and it's a solar consciousness on top of it. Be clear about it. That's why you see the halo. There's no doubt about that. It's a solar consciousness. And when you understand, when it says the return of Christ is return not only of a solar age, you see what I'm saying, but a solar manifestation of the mind. What does it mean by solar? Solar is only symbolic of cosmic consciousness. It is the sun is symbolic of the cosmos as a whole because it is the king of kings. So it's not only just solar, it's also the black matter. It's also all the movement of the universe is also very significant. In the spiral, which is symbolic of spirit, you see, which is also symbolic of the serpent. This is where you get the Ouroboros. This is where you get the serpent with the tail in his mouth. And we're going to get deeper into that. You see, it represents infinity. When you understand the circle 360 degrees is never ending. You see, it's infinite. It's omnipotent. It's omnipotent. You see what I'm saying? This is what it represents. Now, when you see Christ, what does Christ mean? So we can get a clear understanding of how this relates to African people. It says Christ comes from the Greek word meaning anointed one. You see, anointed one. Okay. And so again, the word is derived from the Greek verb meaning to anoint. Okay. In the Greek Septuagint, Christos was used to translate the Hebrew Messiah. Okay. Meaning he who is anointed. Okay. But see, the thing is, as I blow that up, nobody is saying anointed with what? Says you are anointed. Anointed to do what? Okay, you just can't say somebody's anointed. You anoint somebody to do what? And see, that's what they leaving out. They're giving you pieces of this. And see, I want to come in here and put it together and put the whole package together so you can see in clarity. Now, when you go into Hinduism, you go into the Hindu Kush, you will see that the Christ The Christ of the Hindu Kush is Krishna, one of the Christs, because there's more than one Christ. But one of the major Christ figures in the Hindu pantheon, Krishna. And you see within the root of Krishna is also Christ. You see, you go to 16 crucified saviors of cursed graves, you'll see that Jesus, Heru, Hercules, Achilles, Memnon, all of these are Christ figures. They're anthropomorphic, listen to me, representations of the Son. This is solar mythos. You see what I'm saying? The resurrection of the Son became the resurrection of the Son, the S-O-N. See, you don't understand that the S-U-N and the S-O-N is the same manifestation when you understand the root of on, O-N. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you go in the Bible, on, the city of On, O-N, in Greek is Heliopolis. You see? And so on Heliopolis is the city of the sun. Understand that. Aton or Aten. Now the vowels are interchangeable. So you can it could be Aten, it could be Aton, O-N, A-T-O-N or A-T-E-N. Okay? The sun. You see the manifestation of the spirit of the sun. You see, and so when you say the resurrection of the Son, the S-U-N, the Son resurrects every morning, dies and resurrects every morning. So that's the resurrection of the S-U-N. And then you have the resurrection of the S-O-N, and you have to understand, just like in the Bible where it says that you are of your father, the devil. See, understand that. You see, when they were talking about the synagogue of Satan, he said, you are of your father, Satan, the devil. You see, and so if there's one who is a child or a son of Satan, you have a son of the Son. And you have to understand that also in the Bible, it said that the Lord God is a sun and a shield. You see, look it up, that the Lord God is a sun and a shield. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. You see, no good thing will he withhold. So when you understand that, the prerequisite to understanding a lot of what you're reading in the Bible is that this is a solar mythos painted over with anthropomorphic mean human, parables and fables and mythology, but the root of it up under there is solar mythos, the 12 disciples, the 12 tribes of Israel. You see what I'm saying? Which is the 12 houses of the zodiac. Once you understand that, you see what I'm saying? And so now when you come back and understand that the Christ is the S-O-N, but it's also the S-U-N, and that the Son of the Son, the Sarah, only is saying that you, the African man, is the Son made manifest on planet Earth. You are the Son of the Son, and we'll show many times where they show the young African child inside of the Son, even within the womb or the stomach of Newt. God is Newt. You will see the Son inside, but you will also see a young African child inside of the Son to show you that it's the same manifestation, that you are the Son of the Son. You are the daughters of the Son. You are the Son made manifest on this planet, manifested in the flesh. Okay, and the connection is through your pineal. But let's deal with this now. Let's deal with this. And so when it says anointed, you have to say anointed with what? Or the anointed one. Anointed to do what? You see, nobody's answering that question. Now, when you get to the Hindu, you get to the Sanskrit, you see that Krishna means black. Okay, it means black. And so right there, so Christ and Krishna, so it means anointed with blackness. But still, that's not enough. You see in Sanskrit, Krishna, Christ, literally black. Got that right off the internet. And see, they done did the same thing to Krishna that they done did with Jesus, because even though we know that these are only fictional characters, it is a manifestation of uh, the primordial blackness. Okay, it is a manifestation of the primordial blackness. And so when you say, so now we have to understand, okay, black Krishna, you see, anointed one, anointed with what? What blackness? Now we're going to take it a step deeper, because within anointed is ointment. You see what I'm saying? Ointment. You see, now it is speaking to something that is of liquid, or you know what I'm saying, an ointment. You see, but that's also a parable. It's also a hidden term that's going to speak to something far deeper. You see what I'm saying? Now, when you go to Psalms 23:5, it says, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. You see what I'm saying? So when it says you anoint my head with oil, now we speaking to a deeper understanding. What is that oil? We know that it's a black oil. You see, we know that it's a black ointment. It's melanin. You see, it's melanin. That's exactly what it is. And so when you get down on the walls of ancient Kemet, you will see, even with the great Akhenaten, you see what I'm saying? You see where the sun hit the pineal right there. You see the king cobra sitting on the pineal of Akhenaten, and you see where the rays of the sun hit him right there at the pineal. And so there's some symbolic to that. That is the throne of God. You see, and that the serpent was always looked at as a dragon. You see what I'm saying? That the serpent is also in the East, the dragon. So when you talk about the return of Christ, you're also talking about the return of the dragon. It's the same spiritual concept. You see, now it's an age, but it's also, it could be an individual. But when it talks about the return of Christ in the greater sense, or the return of the dragon in the greater sense, it's talking about an age that's going to come across the globe. You see what I'm saying? That's going to come across the whole globe. It's going to be a Christ consciousness. The dragon is symbolic of a people. You see what I'm saying? And when you understand that the dragon, the fire that emits from the dragon is solar energy. That's why you always see the dragon with a little small ball, which is soul. It's the sun, the Naga pearl, or the dragon egg. This is what they say. The phoenix. The phoenix is also symbolic of that. So when you go into West Africa, you see, you go into West Africa, you see the serpent sitting on the pineal, but it's coming from heaven. You see, the serpent is symbolic of divine energy and divine frequency. It is symbolic of God, him and herself, coming down from heaven, sitting on this throne of the African. He is, and she is one with us. You see? And so in our consciousness, if we understand and understand our black divinity and connect it to our black divinity, and we send out the frequencies for the great gods to come and commune with us. You see, and we send out the frequencies for the great gods to come commune with us. Then you see the symbolisms of the serpent come down and sit on the pineal, which is the house of God, which is the throne of God, sitting right there, and it's a universal thing across the Kushite world. You see, it's a universal thing across the Kushite world, where the serpent is seen coming down from heaven. See, the tail is always to the top. You see, coming from heaven. And so you have to understand that in the manifestation of science, you see, frequency is always measured in waves, serpentine ideographs. You see what I'm saying? Serpentine ideographs. Here you see the sun coming down in serpentine frequency. You see, I had that one where you could see it actually move, and I don't have it in there today, but that's all right. It's showing everything that, and so you see the serpent is also a symbol of solar energy. And so when you see the serpent come down on and sit on the pineal gland, you understand that this is a symbol of solar energy. This is and so when I say energy, it's symbolic of God, that God is in his holy temple, which is the mind of African people, manifested in the melanin. See, out of that comes the liquid, divine liquid of heaven. You see what I'm saying? And this is what is coded all the science, deep science of the universe in that melanin, if you connect it to your divinity. Other than that, is has the possibility to manifest, but you have to manifest it. You have to connect it to the universe, understand cosmic law, and manifest cosmic law and live cosmic law. You see what I'm saying? And don't go the way of man. And if you understand cosmic law, 1,000,000 chances to 1, you're gonna be the greater on the planet once you understand that. And see, they understand, the power that comes from the crown. And we're gonna deal with the crown after this. You see, and the brow chakra. They understand the power of that. You see, that's why when they in their Western religions and shit, what they do when they block your energy. See, it's symbolic. You got to understand what's good for them is bad for us. What's bad for them is good for us. We are diametric opposite. I mean, we totally the two most unalike entities on the planet when you're dealing with the Cro-Magnon and the immortal primordial Kushite, ancient Egyptian, African. You understand, on the planet. You see, and so when they in their Western ideology, see, is to block your energy. You see, because they know that all this down here is about you. You are God manifested. The African man and woman and child is God manifested in the flesh. This is all about you. You the primordial. You the one that was first to come here. And so all inheritance is on you. You've denied your inheritance. You've denied your divine responsibility in the universe. And this is where we fail. You see? And so they know that the crown, and we'll get into that when we deal with the hair. You wear the crown, so they remove your crown. Spiritually and mentally, they block you. They say, oh, and put their hands on you and say, in the name of Jesus and Yahweh and Allah and this, that, and the third. That's to block you, so that when you try to reconnect with your solar cosmic consciousness, it will be looked down as something that is heretic. You see, pagan and heathen. You see, and so you ain't gonna want to connect. You see, when somebody come along like General Seti and show you the way, you're gonna say, no, that's paganism. And so they will have achieved what was set out for them. When you look at the Pharaoh, you see that the serpent is coming down from heaven. You see what I'm saying? Sitting, and you see the sacred 8 of infinity right there sitting on the pineal. He's coming down from heaven. Is a symbolism of God. You see, sitting on the throne, sitting in the house of God, which is your mind, which is your spirit. You see, manifested in the melanin. Manifested in the melanin. That's why all ancient Egyptian gods in their most perfect form was black. Whether it was Asa, whether it was Amen, whether it was Ptah, whether it was Anubis, whether it was Tahuti, whether it was Set, you see, and even Aset is symbolic of the primordial darkness, blackness of the universe. You see, and so when we talk about who is the immortal, how the immortal African race is the Christ, when you understand Christ, you see, is your connection to the cosmos and is manifested. You see, in this anointment that they call melanin, but it's activated melanin. It ain't just you got melanin. That's the first prerequisite, African melanin. But it's some other prerequisites that go along with that. It ain't just that alone. You see, but that is one of the ones that is primordial in understanding how the immortal African race is the Christ of the Bible. Stay tuned, family. This is a mega mini from General Seti. Short but powerful. Make sure you check me out, kingseti.com, generalseti.com, Patreon, General Seti. Subscribe and hit that notification button. Black Power.